about me? Love that. Love to promote myself. How about me? A nice, cool 5-0 week last week, week 14 in the National Football League. Now, you know how betting content works, right? You know what I am? I'm 5-0 in my last 5. I am red hot, haven't lost in my last 5 picks, which means you should probably ask, well, what about the ones before that? And like other betting content creators, I don't have an answer for you. What I've got for you is 5-0 in the last 5, 5-0 in week 14 in the NFL. I am Nick Kostos here, Board of Spreads presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, and we are looking to keep it rolling with another 5-0 week. Let's be honest, probably unlikely. It's going to be settled for 3-2 or 4-1, but we're looking for a winning week. Week 15 Board of Spreads presented by the king of sportsbooks, the great people at BetMGM. Download that BetMGM app and make sure you visit BetMGM.com. Before we get to the picks this week, a loaded slate coming up. No more bye weeks now in the NFL. Shout out to the fantasy football playoffs. We must pay homage to the Board of Spreads. Board of Spreads kind to us last week. Board of Spreads, keep being kind in the holiday spirit. Let's make it happen. And as always, we begin with the games that I have no interest in betting. And we will start with this game coming up on Saturday. How about this in the NFL's, quest to completely dominate every day of the week and every single holiday? Can't wait for 3 games on Christmas. Who needs time with our families when we could watch Tommy DeVito and the Giants go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, or AOC and the squad and the Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs? Thanks, Roger. And also, I'll be watching all those games because I love this stuff and I bet it. It is absolutely the best. But Saturday, 3 games this week, and the first game we'll see, Jake Browning. By the way, JB looks like JB. Jake Browning looks like Joe Burrow. He's been amazing. Taking on Nick Mullins. Great first name. Maybe not the best quarterback, but certainly better than Josh Dobbs at this point. Bengals, a 3.5-point home favorite. Total in the game is 39. Now, full transparency and disclosure. We do this on Wednesday morning, so I'll ask you. And look, you might be watching this on Friday or Sunday, whatever. Saturday. No, they're playing on Saturday. Is Justin Jefferson playing in the game? At this point in time, I don't have an answer for you. Day to day with his injury, who the hell knows if Justin did grand opening, grand closing, came back in and went right out last week. So is Jefferson going to play? That will dictate the line movement in this game. I can tell you that if this goes like Minnesota +4, I'm definitely interested in the Vikings. Vikings love playing close games. And if it's going to be like 3 or 2.5 for Cincinnati, I'd have interest in the Bengals. I know no one wants to have it's a point spread conversation around the number. Also, we're trying to win. So Bengals at 2.5 or 3. We get up to 4 or 4.5. And then Skull, baby, let's take the points with Justin Jefferson, Nicky Mullins, and the Minnesota Vikings. Let's stay on Saturday. Broncos country. Let's cover the damn spread. They keep getting it done for us, the Denver Broncos. Now, Justin Herbert got hurt, and that obviously helped last week, but still, Russell Wilson, Broncos country, let's ride. And this week, the Broncos ride into Detroit to take on Jared Goff and his really small hands. Not that I have Shaquille O'Neal hands. I also don't play quarterback in the NFL. Jared Goff and his baby hands and the Detroit Lions. Now, the Lions were horrendous last week on the road in Chicago, but look, that's outdoors, right? In the elements at Soldier Field. And Jared Goff, historically in his career, really bad in situations like that. Now they return home, and the Lions have been bet out to a 5.5-point home favorite in this game. So here's where I'm dumb, candidly. I want to bet the shit out of Denver in this game. I'm dying to bet the Broncos in this game because I bet them every week. But look, Detroit's been bet all the way up. Detroit's at home in this game. Profiles is a great bounce back spot, so I don't think I'm going to bet this game, but maybe I won't be able to stop myself from clicking the button on the Broncos. Just saying, I don't think it's the smartest bet, but if I had to bet the game, I'd bet the Broncos. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, have mercy on my soul. The next game that I have no interest in betting, and it's only because the number is what it is right now, is the Miami Dolphins. Man, what a performance by Miami on Monday night. Up 14 against the frickin' Tennessee Titans at home and find a way to lose the game. Hey, Mike McDaniel, maybe less time thinking about the sneakers that you're going to wear. By the way, the drip's sensational. The Breitling's really nice. Less time thinking about the game day fit and more time thinking about how you should run the football instead of whatever asinine play calling this was against the Titans. Anyway, how about Zach Wilson last week? Best game of his professional career. Jets beat the Texans. But now the thought is the Jets are not going to keep this game close against Miami. Now, look, maybe they can keep it close. But if this goes down to 8.5, then oh, baby, we've got one of the 2-team teaser locks of the millennium. We don't have it now because it's 9. This goes down to 8.5. I get it. Zach was good last week. Also, it's Zach Wilson. He didn't go to sleep. This isn't like a Disney movie. He didn't go to sleep at night and then wake up in the morning and now he's, Joe Montana or Tom Brady. It's not how it works. He's still bad. He's still Zach Wilson. It's still on the road. It's still at the Dolphins. The Dolphins are still good. So we will tease Miami down to -2.5 if they drop to 8.5. And that's how we'll bet the Dolphins and the Jets. Oh, baby. Like we like a lot this week in the NFL. Those are the only games that right now I have no interest in betting. So why don't we do this here? Now, again, Miami is the preferred play for the two-team teaser lock of the millennium. Now, unfortunately, we can't use them in this. So instead, in lieu of Miami, we will give you these two options this week. We will take the Pittsburgh Steelers, even with horrendous Money Mitch. Money Mitch, we're all poor if we're betting on Mitch Trubisky. Great job against Bailey Zappi and the Patriots last week. Bailey Slappy looking like Tom Brady. So we will take Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers up to plus 8.5. Now look, TJ Watt might not play in the game, something to consider, but still, like Pittsburgh's going to keep this game close. You would think Pittsburgh up to plus 8.5, along with Houston up to plus 8.5. Even if it's Davis Mills, even if Nico Collins doesn't play, you need the Titans to win by margin to lose the bet. And I like Will, you'll love it at Levis. I love Mike Vrabel and Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins, but is Tennessee going to blow out Houston in this game? Even if CJ Stroud doesn't play in concussion protocol, I don't think so. So what we will have, Texans plus 8.5 and the Steelers plus 8.5 is our two-team teaser lock of the millennium. Again, though, if Miami gets in range, just put Miami in with your team of choice out of Pittsburgh and Houston, and we have the lock of the millennium. Not really. Hopefully, though, for Week 15 in the NFL. All right, now, we will go to the games that I like but do not love coming up for this week. And let's go to Thursday. Let's go to Thursday night, where it was tougher for me to pull this thing down than it was for the Raiders to score on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings, since, they scored no points. This is like the stuff the nightmares are made of. Poor Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit got to call this game on Thursday night. Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders, who now is like, I actually think might be like the least popular AOC now after his performance on Sunday against Minnesota, taking on Easton Stick. Not Justin Herbert. Herbert out for the season. Brandon Staley, dead coach walking, obviously. Raiders and the Chargers coming up on Thursday night. I get it. Herbert's not playing in the game. I understand. Also, both teams are absolutely terrible. Both teams are bad. One team's getting 3 points. Let's close your nose here. Close your nose and either take the 3 points with the Bolts or play the Chargers to win the game. Chargers plus 3. Easton Stick. Stick it up you know where. Chargers plus 3. Chargers to win on Thursday night against the Las Vegas Raiders. The next game that I like but don't love. Oh, yeah, we'll go to the Battle of the Bays. How about this? Shout out to me, 11 years old, 1994. I'm a big New York Football Giants fan. Giants start 3-0 under the late, great Dan Reeves. Then lose 7 straight, then win their next 6 to go 9-7. And what we needed as Giants fans to make the playoffs was Tampa Bay to beat Green Bay in the Battle of the Bays. And Brett Favre and the Packers won the game by like 4 touchdowns, which has nothing to do with anything. I just felt like saying it because Green Bay's playing Tampa Bay, and that's my memory. And I'm the one talking, so piss off if you don't like it. Get your own show. Anyway, Packers and the Bucs now coming up on Sunday in Lambeau. So look, we bet the Giants. We had the Giants on Monday night. It's a Tommy DeVito. It was awesome on Monday night. But look, now it's Green Bay going home against Tampa. And Tampa had a great win last week against Atlanta. But in all seriousness, like, I'm not trying to be like, well, look at the box score of the game. Hey, look at the yards per play. I'm not that type of guy, but in all seriousness, look at the box score, look at the yards per play. Tampa had no business winning that game. This point spread's going to go down to 3. And if and when it does, dun, da, 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 bet, pack, go. We're going to take the Packers minus 3 if it gets there coming up on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about this? We'll do this game also, and then we'll do the same game parlay plus. Rams and the Commanders. So Commanders are coming off their bye. Season circle in the drain. The swamp does need to be drained. The swamp in this instance in Washington is the Commanders and Ron Rivera and this coaching staff. Now, they're not going to drain the swamp until after the season, so this team's going to be terrible coming down the stretch. But you need the Rams to win this game by a lot of points. I think the point spread's perfect. No bet for me on this game. I will say, though, just one quick note here. If it goes to 7, I actually think we need to consider betting Washington in the game. I don't want to do that. I hope it doesn't happen. Also, like fantasy football gods, please, can Cooper Kupp keep this resurgence up? Absolutely needed. So Washington at 7, otherwise no bet on the Rams and the Commies. All right, now the SGP Plus for the week. And this is going to be called, because I like to name things. You listen to my show, you bet you know this. Everything's branded. This is the once and future MVP SGP Plus for this week. What is an SGP Plus? It's a same-game parlay that you parlay with another same-game parlay. Honestly, it might be the best invention in the history of inventions. So here's the same-game parlay plus for this week. We are going to take Kansas City in a bounce-back to cover the 9.5 against the New England Patriots, who might be firing Bill Belichick after the year. Bounce-back spot for that whiny baby Patrick Mahomes, who maybe, the officiating, my God, the officiating so bad. Hey, buddy, you've been getting every call for 5 years. Give it a rest, Mahomes. Also, like, he's the best player on the planet, and we acknowledge that, and we love watching him. And he'll bounce back this week. Chiefs to cover, and Mahomes over passing yards, and then he's the one-time MVP, two-time MVP technically, but he's won it in the past. And the future MVP, I hope it doesn't happen because I have money on other guys, but Brock Purdy might be the most likely player to win MVP at this point. Niners and Brock Purdy over passing yards, Purdy over passing yards, and let's play the over in the game, over 48. Niners might get to 48 on their own. So Chiefs to cover, Mahomes over passing yards, Purdy over passing yards, and the over in this game with San Francisco and Arizona, the once and future MVP, same game parlay plus for week 15 in the NFL. How many games do we have here? We got what? We had 6. Oh, we'll go to Monday Night Football. This will be the last one. Eagles and the Seahawks. So impossible for me to give you like a strong opinion here because I don't know if Geno Smith's playing in the game yet. Obviously missed the game on Sunday. If Geno Smith is going to play and the point spread's going to be in this range, I'll take Seattle to cover the spread. Both defenses are bad, like the over in the game also. So if Geno plays, BetMGM will put this out on Monday, right? So if Geno's playing in the game and the total is this, definitely the over. And if Seattle's a dog in this range, if Geno's playing, it's Seattle like +4 or better. Otherwise, not a lot of interest in betting this game for me. So if Geno's playing, over in a total around this range, and the Seahawks to cover the spread if Geno's playing on Monday night. And that'll take us to the 5 best bets coming up for week 15, coming off a 5-0 week, 5-0 in my last 5. And let's begin in Cleveland, where last week, hashtag wacko for Flacco. Oh, baby. The Cleveland Browns had to sweat a 2-point conversion at the end of the game to cover the bet, but we still covered the bet. Thank God. And went 5-0 last week. But this week, Joe Flacco coming off the couch. What a story. I hope he wins Comeback Player of the Year. That would be really great because that would win a lot of money. But now, Joe Flacco and the Browns, favored by more than 3 at home against the Bears. Here's I think Justin Fields is not good. I think Matt Eberflus is terrible. Matt Eberflus. I think the Bears got to take Caleb Williams or Drake May or Jaden Daniels or whomever in the draft. But the Bears defense is very quietly, and not so quietly, right, actually starting to get talked about now. The Bears defense has been sensational since they traded for Montez Sweat. Eberflus is a really good defensive coach. He's actually done a nice job with that side of the ball. I like the under in this game a lot, and if the point spread's going to be over 3, like how's Cleveland scoring in this game on Chicago's defense? Now, how Chicago is scoring also, that maybe we should just take the under in the game. Maybe that should be the bet. How about this? I like the under, and I also, Chicago can be the bet. Just for the purposes of the video, I like the under also. Bears has to be 3.5 or better coming up against the Browns on Sunday in Cleveland. Oh, baby. Let's go to Carolina. Bryce Young. Can we have, what's the meme? Like, we need to start a dialogue? Who is that? Like that meme, like, we need to start a dialogue about this. I think it's, I'm old. I don't know. It's one of these memes, whatever. Kind of like really dating myself here. We got some laughter from the crew here. We need to start a dialogue, I think, about Bryce Young. Is it over? Like, is this dude toast? Like, does he suck? Like, is it over already? Or is he just shell-shocked? Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day, and he'll be able to get back on it, taking down Bebop and Rocksteady and the Atlanta Falcons. We'll see. I think he might be completely shot. Here's what I see. And look, ritter me this, absolutely terrible. He sucks. Arthur Smith mustache, I was an absolute oaf and a buffoon. It's like Hodor coaching professional football. So Atlanta's a 3-point road favorite in this game. I don't even care about, I don't care about what this is. It's team favored by only 3 against Carolina. I'll take the team laying 3 against the Panthers. Best bet numero dos. Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons laying the 3 on the road in Cleveland. Let's go to Buffalo. How about, we talked about it last week. Buffalo taking down KC, and all those Bills futures are looking really good right now. But they do have the Dallas Cowboys coming to town in the hotly anticipated Super Bowls 27 and 28 rematches that Western New York has been looking for revenge for about 30 years. Can't wait for it. Bills 2.5-point home favorites against Dallas. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. We are going to get in those damn wagons, and we're going to circle them some bitches all around the stadium, circling the wagons to a Buffalo Bills victory and a cover against the Dallas Cowboys. Bills win. Bills cover. Bills going to win the AFC East. Bills going to represent the AFC coming up in the Super Bowl. Buffalo, best bet number 3. How about Sunday Night Football for best bet number 4 with the Ravens and the Jaguars in Jacksonville? Baltimore, 3.5-point favorite, totally fine. Maybe the point spread should be 3, whatever. I like the over in this game. Jacksonville's defense, absolutely dreadful. Got carved up last week by Wacko for Flacco like a turkey on Thanksgiving, making it a little topical. And on the flip side here, it's Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is awesome. High ankle sprain. He might actually be Wolverine. Looked really good last week. This total is below 44, over 43.5. Best bet numero cuatro for week 15 in the NFL. And we will close. Yeah, baby. Get the gabaladine, the gabagool, a little soprasat. That one I think I pronounce incorrectly. My wife is Italian. She gets really pissed at that one, the sopra. I get soup like a U, but it has an O. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Neither does Tommy DeVito. I don't understand. It's a Tommy DeVito, baby. Look, can I ask a question in all seriousness? Which quarterback's better in this game? Tommy DeVito, Danny's son, or Derek Carr? Now, Carr's probably better. Carr is better than DeVito, but not by much. And I'm less interested in the quarterbacks than I am in the head coaches. Now, look, Brian Dable, I love him. I'm a Giants fan. Kind of a slob. Hey, Brian, you're a millionaire. Go get that beard trimmed, buddy. Go do something about that terrible beard. But with that being said, great coach. He's back. And on the other sideline is this moron, Dennis Allen. And we're getting 6 in the game with the New York Football Giants. You know what's a bad idea, unless they play Carolina? Laying the Saints and expecting them to win by margin. So once again, get the gobbledine. Serve your cutlets. I prefer veal. I like veal better than chicken. Sue me. Peter will hate me for saying that. Also, piss off. I don't care. Get the cutlets, the gobbledine, a little marinade for Tommy DeVito and the Giants to cover 6 against the Saints for best bet numero 5 in the National Football League. And there you have it, the 5 best bets aboard of spreads. Week 15 in the National Football League. Download the BetMGM app. Visit BetMGM.com. Nick Kostos here with you, presented by the King of Sportsbooks.